If you are looking to build an audience for your first or next book, you have got to stop trying to show up everywhere. You've got to stop trying to reverse engineer another author's strategy, and you've got to stop believing that trying to do everything at once is going to guarantee success. I'm going to break down in this video the ways in which you can build your audience that is ready to buy your book when it's ready to launch and continue to attract new readers to your platform even after the launch. In this video, I shared my zero to published framework, which walked you through getting a book planned, written, and published. But did you notice that for each phase in the process, there were actually foundational marketing steps as well? That's because the last thing you want to do is put all that effort in only to launch your book to crickets with zero audience and no sales. This is a concept I actually teach in my program, Authorpreneur Unleashed, where I walk you through how to put in place strong business foundations and create a marketing strategy and book marketing ecosystem that is aligned with your business model to consistently drive sales to your book. So I'm going to touch on that today. Let's start going through it. First things first, you have got to know who your target audience is. What do they enjoy? What are they looking for? What makes them buy? Knowing this information about your audience and who your ideal reader is going to allow you to create the right type of content that is going to catch their eye and get them interested in you. Knowing what their desires and their behaviors are is the first essential step to attracting the right audience to you and your books. It's important to know as an author that when you are marketing your book, you are not marketing to everybody. There is a specific kind of person out there with unique interests, unique personalities, and unique shopping behaviors that are the right person for your work. And knowing this will affect every single bit of marketing that you do in your author brand. Now, learning this information will really come down to market research, which I've got a full video all about that process right here if you want to go and check that out and learn more about it. But once you have a general idea of who your target audience is, it's going to be time to develop your signature offer. Basically, this is what makes you and your work unique. It's the very essence of what attracts those people, your target audience, to you, to your book, and gets them to make the purchase, builds that interest inside of them. This is essential to having your book and your work and your brand stand out from the crowd and attract a dedicated audience, right? Because your offer goes beyond just having a book, right? Giving a book to somebody. It's the entire experience that you provide for your reader. That is why they come to you. So how do you do this? First, you need to identify what your unique selling point is. This is what makes your work different or more unique than others inside of the genre. For some, this could be your writing style or maybe your expertise in a certain subject. It could be a fresh perspective that you bring to the table or something about the way that you write that is aligned with the interests of a certain group of people. So consider your reader's experience. What emotions or transformation do you want them to experience through reading your work? What are they craving that you offer in your book? Understanding how your work impacts your readers is going to allow you to craft an offer that you are going to be able to use as the starting point for building your platform and marketing your book. So what does this look like in practice? After brainstorming, your offer statement may look something like this. I write descriptive word, genre, for target audience that will describe the reaction, mood, feeling, or whatever that your writing provides. So essentially, it's I write what for who that does this specific thing. And that is why these people are interested in me and my work. And that is what makes me different from this author or that author. And when you infuse this into your brand, into your book, and into the different marketing methods that you pursue, that is how you begin to develop that magnetic pull for those right fit readers. As an author, your brand is your identity, and it is how you are perceived by others. It sets you apart and helps readers identify you and your work. So developing a strong author brand, again, that infuses that offer statement, is the essential next step in the process to attracting your audience. So keeping that signature offer in mind, you can begin developing your brand image, voice, and style. Your brand image includes things like your book covers, your web design, and your social media graphics. It should be eye-catching and attractive, but also reflective of your genre, your style, and your offer, right? Your brand voice is the tone and personality of your brand. So this really comes into play with how your readers perceive you as the author, as the face of your brand. You use this voice when you communicate with your readers in any way. So not only is it kind of woven into the work and to the books that you put out there, but also in any of your marketing material or content that you create for social media or your email. This means that your brand voice needs to be consistent. So having a plan for exactly how you want to be perceived is important. By developing a strong brand, you're able to differentiate yourself from the competition and build trust and credibility among your audience with your readers. Once they recognize your brand, they'll be more likely to not only buy your books, but also recommend them to others. I've got a video all about branding coming up next, so be sure you subscribe so that you don't miss it. And once you've got all of this important foundational pieces in place, you can begin moving on to creating the actual structure of your author platform, where you are going to be doing the attracting, the engaging, and the selling of your books. A well-designed author platform is a game changer for authors. But the way in which you design your author platform and the way that you actually use it are so important to this piece of the puzzle. So instead of trying to show up everywhere or chasing every new shiny marketing tactic out there, you should choose the platforms that are most relevant to your target market and to the experience you want your readers to take, to the journey you want them to take from first learning about you to becoming a reader and beyond. What you are looking at right now is what I call the author sales funnel flowchart. And this is something that I teach my clients inside of Authorpreneur Unleashed, but I wanted to show it to you too because I love how it illustrates the importance of a strategically designed platform. That as a whole is the reader's journey from the moment they enter your sphere of visibility to becoming a paying reader and beyond. And your author platform's job is to encourage movement down that sales funnel flowchart. And obviously, to make this happen, you're going to need traffic. Traffic is essential to the process, and notice how your author platform is only the first step. Now, there are actually different kinds of traffic coming into play in a healthy author platform. The key thing here to remember when using social media for traffic is how can you attract or reach new readers, new potential readers that do not already follow you. So this could be a hashtag strategy or Facebook reader groups or creating shareable viral content. The important thing to realize is that there is a difference in creating content for visibility and creating content for engagement or nurturing. And that's something to keep in mind when you are creating your content strategy. Traffic could also come from SEO type content like Pinterest or blogging or YouTube, even podcasts, any type of big piece of content that you are creating with the single goal of showing up in search results somewhere. Paid ads to cold audience like Facebook, BookBub, Amazon ads, those are all different types of traffic sources as well. Targeted ads can also help build up your also bots on a newly published book on Amazon as well, so that's something to remember there. And then you have borrowed traffic. That is traffic that's coming from other authors, from recommendations, from interviews and press. Basically, it's when you tap into another person or group's audience by collaborating or being featured. These are all different ways of driving traffic to your author platform to begin that reader's journey. Over time, you may incorporate many of these different traffic sources in your marketing strategy. But when first starting out, it's important to focus on just one main way so that you're not feeling overwhelmed and again, trying to do all of the things. And then as time goes on, you can expand these traffic sources to then again expand your reach and your visibility. Okay, so once you're doing that visibility, how do you actually encourage movement down that sales funnel? It comes down to 3 focuses. So the first one again is attraction, which we just covered in some pretty deep detail. The second one is engaging that newly gotten audience, and then we move on into converting them. A conversion could be considered a book sale, yes, but not always. While social media is a powerful tool for connecting with people that you couldn't otherwise, it is important to realize that it's considered a borrowed audience. You do not have full control over that platform or the followers that you accrue there. So to build a more stable and reliable audience, it's important, essential to also be building an owned audience. For authors, this typically comes in the form of an email list where people have specifically opted in to hear directly from you. And the good thing about email lists is that they're not at the mercy of algorithms or another platform's visibility decisions. And this is where a content strategy becomes crucial. You need to have a content strategy laid out that is not only attracting these new people to your platform, but also engaging them and convincing them to take that next step with you, join your email list in order to retain them and build your own audience. You can do this by ensuring that you are catering your content to 3 specific types of audience: cold, warm, and hot. When you do this, you can be simultaneously using your author platform to attract, engage, and convert people on these different segments of your audience. So let's dive in a little bit more and talk about what each one of these different audience segments are. Your cold audience are brand new people that you have just recently pulled in to your platform through visibility tactics and traffic. These are potential readers who have little or no knowledge about your work, and so they haven't actually read anything that you've put out there. The goal with this group is to create that awareness and spark interest among these cold audience members. So some content ideas here for those in this stage include intriguing posts on topics related to your genre or your books, posts with attention-grabbing visuals with entertaining or informational content in them, press, podcast, interviews, those kinds of things. Your warm audience are those who are somewhat familiar with your work. They know you have a book, that you're an author, and the general idea of what you write. But they may not yet fully committed to you as an author, joined your email list, or purchased from you yet. So the goal with your warm audience is to deepen their interests and promote the value that your work can give them. Content for warm audience includes exclusive content, sneak peeks, or behind the scenes insights, live events and conversations that really highlight your brand, the offer that you provide, and your personality, expertise, or offer. Again, depending on what it is you write and who you write it for will really depend on what they really need to see in order to take that next step with your brand. Another thing that you can consider that works really well with warm audiences is collaborations with other authors or brands that they enjoy and trust. And finally, you have your hot audiences. So these are people who are already committed to you, have already bought from you, and are maybe even already a loyal fan. The goal here is to retain them as somebody who is interested in your work and stay top of mind so that you can encourage repeat purchases or even reviews and referrals. Content for those members of your hot audience include more personal stories or conversations that really hone in on the goal of building authentic connection or shared interests, special offers, discounts, or early access to certain things going on in your author brand. Anything that allows them to revisit or re-experience the transformation or the experience that your book gives them. So author appreciation events or virtual book signings or Q&A sessions and meet and greets. Those kinds of things that somebody who already really enjoys what you're doing and likes connecting with you, where they can take that even further, those are the things that are really going to delight your hot audience members. By creating content that resonates with each segment of your audience, you're going to be able to be effectively attracting, engaging, and ultimately turning them into paying readers and brand fans, which lead to a more sustainable book marketing ecosystem. So as you can see, growing a loyal audience as an author requires consistent effort and dedication to not only your work, but to your readers. Establishing a strong connection with your readers and maintaining their interests allows you to stand out, but it does take time and persistence. Even though it may look like it, there is rarely an overnight success in the publishing industry, especially the indie publishing industry. It takes initial work up front to build that sales funnel and consistent maintenance and effort to keep it running. And that's really what it comes down to. It's not some magical secret ad writing formula or some super intricate social media posting schedule, as some gurus may tell you. So if you want my help to plan out your author platform and in a way that aligns with your goals and your marketing strategies, then head on over to thrivingscribes.com/platform to grab my free author platform planner and training that will guide you through the process to do it strategically and intentionally so that you can be growing your audience, engaging them, and converting them simultaneously. I'll see you there.